Right. Yes, back into War Thunder once again. And this time, we've got a patch. A new patch. A very big patch. Mainly because the down planes are here. And they're here to stay. Probably. Maybe. Well, that's kind of sparse. Okay. There's 4 planes in that part of the territory. What planes are these then? Attacker. 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 And a jet fighter. Why is that not an attack if that is? They've got a bomber territory as well apparently. And a fighter territory. I pre-ordered that, so that's why I've got that. It's going to help out a little bit, I guess. And G.91 and G.91. So they've really not got much here at all. Okay. Right, but that kind of makes sense as far as why they rushed it out so much, because there's not really that much there, if I'm completely honest. I mean, obviously, each of these aircraft, apart from that one, is a new aircraft, and that one, and possibly that one. Maybe those two, and a few of these as well. Those in particular. So yeah, they've got some new vehicles. For the Italians. Those two are the same. Those two are pretty much the same. Yeah, I can see, you're right, yeah, I understand, I'm getting it now. As far as how they've managed to do this much. Because, you know, they've said, oh, 38 vehicles in this patch, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And I was there thinking, that's quite a lot. How did you manage to do that with such a small team in such a small period of time? And the answer is, they copy-pasted probably about half the territory, or moved it out from the German territory and put it into this one. Let's have a look. Where's the Italian stuff here? The Italian stuff is still there, as is that. Okay, and that's the new one they've added in for the Germans tier. Well, it's the reserve entry aircraft that you get. So yeah. 38 new aircraft we apparently got in this patch. 9 tanks and 3 new locations. Along with more bits about World mode that still isn't released. So, let's try and find them, shall we? No German aircraft. 1 German armoured vehicle, which is that one, which is the Puma armoured car. First one for the Germans, I think. Kind of surprised that's not a premium, if I'm honest. But it was a mass-produced vehicle, so it wouldn't really fit the bill. But that's not stopped Gaijin from doing that before, you know. So yeah, they've got the Puma. Let's have a quick look at that. I mean, 2.7 battery. Okay. I was kind of expecting that to be lower, if I'm completely honest. Mainly because of that gun, but also because it's on an armoured car chassis, with virtually no armour. As you can see, 30mm on the front. Yeah, that's going to get pinned by 50 cals on the side quite easily. That's not good. That's not really good at all. But I don't think, actually, transmission's foot with 50 cars. Wow, that man is incredible. That's gonna piss off so many players. It's just stupid. Right. Let's continue on anyway. So, America. Any tanks? Yes, the T95E1. Now, I've not read into this at all, this particular vehicle, but being a T95E1 and being that I've never heard of it before, I'm assuming that it's a prototype. And, yeah. I mean, America have been suffering quite a bit. This is going in as a medium tank, I think. Heavy tank. But it's a medium tank. K Gaijin. Yeah, that makes no sense at all. Why that is there when it should be down here. Or in this tree. Because it's a medium, not a heavy. That's the heavy tree. Right there. They put it in the heavy tree because reasons. I'm guessing a lot of people haven't got the M103 because they think it's shit. So now that Gaijin have put this in, they're forced him to get that to get this. And we've got the M68-2, which sits below the T95. This is the Starship. It gets a 150mm gun missile launcher, the same one as on the Sheridan. Let's have a look at the armour, because Gaijin said this is good enough, apparently. Good enough for what, though? Not much. Is what I'd say. Yeah, it's going to suffer very badly at the hands of the Russians. What's the reload rate for that is 21 seconds with it, no crew at all. I'm guessing it's going to be the same as that. Yeah, 21.7 exactly. Okay. Thank you, Guy Boob. Right, what else have we got then for the Americans? Aircraft. The PB4Y-2 Privateer, that's a new one. 5.7 bat rating, okay. Interesting, I was expecting that to be around about 6.0, 6.3 at least, but because it's not got any belly armament, it makes sense a little bit. Although it does have a lot of 50 cals on that thing. It's not going to be fun to take on if he's got guns on you. There. Gators F3, F2. It's a premium. Okay, we've done the Germans already. Russia next. Wow. No new aircraft for the Russians. But... two new top tier tanks. T-55A, which sits below the T-62 for some reason. And the Object 268, which sits there. This is based on the T-10M hull, so I expect to match it with that. I'm also considering, there we go, that they have 4mm toolboxes of spaced armour that will stop APDS rounds. Probably heat as well, at a gas in this game. What else have we got? But other than that, yeah, it's basically a T-10M chassis with this massive superstructure on top. And the pants armor on the sides. Not bad arm on the front. Jesus Christ, that's quite... Wait, what? That's actually quite thin all around there. Let's see. That area there is the weak spot. There's like a plate going, well, flat plate going in front of the, or just below the gun, and up to there. Yeah. But I wouldn't bother shooting at any of this because that's Russian magical slug armor. I expect most of the stuff to bounce off that. Yeah. And yeah, T-55A, I'm not going to go through that because it's just another commie bias vehicle. Can't be arsed. It's just basically another T-54, but with a slightly better gun. Armour's probably around about the same. Yeah, it's not going to be much different. What else have we got? For the British, we've got the Churchill Mark 1, and we've got the Vickers MPT, and we also got another Chieftain, which is slightly quicker. 26.9 miles an hour versus 25.3. Wow. That's the only difference between those two, by the way. Apparently. Yeah. Let's have a quick look. The model's going to be slightly different as well, I guess. As far as that goes, that is literally the only difference I should point out. The gun or ammunition types are exactly the same, apart from maybe these smoke rounds that they've added in there. Even though that I think is still fictional. You still got the wrong explosive equivalent, yeah. And that's APDS, so it's crap. As far as the Churchill Mark 1 goes, actually, yeah, we'll do that one first. This I have been looking forward to. I am going to be testing this out a little bit. It's got a, I think that's a £2, yeah, £2 gun in the turret, which is only 40mm, which should be fairly rapid, if I'm completely honest. That should be quite fast firing, yep, 3.6 seconds. Plus, it also gets a howitzer here. Now, the howitzer, I think, only gets AG rounds, yes. But it's something else. It's something that will actually be able to fire as well. It's 3-inch, by the way, 76mm gun. Yeah, that's a 76mm howitzer right there. Arm values wise, it's going to be around about the same as the Mark III, I think. Or at least very similar. What else have we got then? The Vickers MBT, yes. Now this, I have mentioned a few times before as a entry into the game. And, yeah. I'm glad that they put it in. But at the same time, I'm a little bit disappointed with what they've done. Because Vickers MBT, this one, the Vickers MBT even, it was a British tank, yeah, sure. It was made by British designers, made in the British factories and so on. But it was never used by the British Army. It was built just for export. And that's a bit, you know, of a problem really for this game. Because, you know, British tank and so on in the British territory. But yeah, we've got it anyway. I mean, there are going to be other tanks that have that kind of similar issue as well. Not necessarily just for the British. Right, and as far as this goes, this is going to be kind of a bit of a odd one, I think. Similar to the Leopard, and probably not as fast. And doesn't get EFS. You know, standard things. For the British at least, anyway. Arm values wise, yeah, about the same as the Leopard, and it's not going to bounce much at all. The amount that's only 82 minutes thick even. Does get an overlapping, well, does get overlapping protection from the actual turret though, of 80 odd millimeters, but that's really not that much either. And it's got massive flat plates on the front of the turret. There and there. All of this will be easily penned by PDS or heat or hash. And yeah, game over basically. Let's have a quick look in the internals. I'm assuming it's the standard kind of layout. Yep. Okay. Not really anything special about that. That's it for the British, I think. I don't think there's any aircraft being added in for them. Nope. And for the Japanese, I think they've got one new tank. Chinu Late or Cheeto Late, I think. Cheeto Late, there we go. And that's it. They haven't got any aircraft or anything else. So let's have a quick look at that. It is slightly different from the normal one. But it's just a Cheeto. And yeah, that's about it really. As I say, I mean, we've got the Italian tech tree now. So I'm going to be working my way through this. It's going to take me a while, obviously. But from what I'm actually kind of disappointed now, if I'm completely honest. When I saw, you know, all 38 new aircraft, I thought the Italians were going to be getting you know, special, a lot of aircraft, or a lot of new aircraft, which they can't have. But Gaijin have done their normal thing. They've basically just copy and pasted stuff in, and then made different variants of the same aircraft. So you've really not got 38 new aircraft. You've more like got 19. Let's see. There's 1, 2. That's 109. Lol. Alright, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's G.55, so I'm not going to include that. 5. I think these are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, 9, I'm not going to include that. It's premium. So 9, 10, 11. So in theory, really, the Italians have got 11 new aircraft, or rather, in total, we've been given 13 new aircraft in this patch, because you got a G.55 there. That is basically the same as the G.55 there, which is the same as that one. The 202, that's the Fogel, so I'm not including that. In theory, the 205 is the same aircraft. It's just got slightly different weapons, as far as I'm aware. The 200, that was already in game. 202 was already in game. The CR-42 was already in game. They weren't, which is why I've included them, or 2, but they are going to be the same aircraft, so it's just 1. That's new. That's new. That's new. They aren't new. They were already in game. They are new, but they're the same aircraft. Z-1007, Z-1007. So, you know, in theory, that's not really 2 new aircraft. That's 1 that's been changed between one and the other. Or is it? Let's look at the tail design. I think that is actually a significant difference. But in theory, it's not that much in comparison to, you know, a new plane, which is what they're claiming. The P108s, now there's 3 of these. That's pretty much the same plane. And wow, that battle rate as well. How low is that? Interesting. Another thing of note is this F-84. Let me just check it, because this is quite comical. Yeah, there we go. 24 H-files and 2 training teams. All 32 H-files this can carry. Right, let me just go back to the American one, because this is amusing as well. F-84 for the Americans. Let's have a look. Nope. No 32H was there. And the reason for that, at least as far as I can tell, is because these guys aren't getting aren't getting tanks to begin with. So they can afford to do that. They may not get tanks ever. Considering, you know, this is Gaijin, they don't turn us shit. And because of that, these aren't going to ever get used in ground forces games. So having 32 H5s and that doesn't matter, because it's not going to ever fight against tanks or player control tanks. And in that kind of situation with 32 H5s, that's effectively speaking, you could effectively, if you were magically freaking accurate, get 32 kills or more. And that's kind of stupidly overpowered for an aircraft. But even more impressive is these two. These two, as far as I'm aware, get rocket pods. There you go, 38 Hydra 70s. And penetration, maximum penetration is 16 millimeters. Still, you're carrying 38 rockets. If that was in a tank battle, that could really be quite dangerous for the enemy tanks. And that gets 38 Hydras as well. We may get Italian tanks at some point, and then we'll get to see how much of a mess these make of tanks. But until then, can't really say, because these aren't going to see tanks. Right. So, think that's around about it, really. Let me just have another quick look. So, yeah, the 3 new locations we've got. Hopefully I'll be able to show you some of these. One's a Tunisian air map. Another one is the reworked Cuban map. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to that one. And we've got a new naval map for boats called the Black Sea Port. Now, yeah. And that's it. I am actually a little bit disappointed there, if I'm completely honest. So, I'm gonna jump into the game anyway and do some battles and see what we can do. I'll see what I can find as far as features go and entertainment. You know what? Let's do some reserve games just to get warmed up. It's been a while since I've done any planes. I want to check these out from the ground up, if you don't understand what I mean. So, let's do one with each, shall we? Fully mixed him straight away. No, sorry, but I don't play arcade. There's a reason for that. Because I don't like fully mixed bullshit. I did QRB there. It's just, you know, Gaijin. '87 queuing at bottom tip for eternity. Yeah, that's why it's doing fully mixed. Because no one's playing the other nations, because Gaijin didn't put anything else in for them. So why would anyone play them? Right, well, it looks like passenger planes are going to be out of the question then. For like the next 2 months. I love pre-ordering stuff so that I can't actually freaking play it. That's a real nice feature, I like that one. Along with the, you know, standard way of Gaijin's fucking development. Or answer to the issue. No, we'll just have fully mixed games, guys, don't worry about it. It's all good. Yeah, we'll play Gaijin, we'll play it. This is the standard way Gaijin do things. They, you know, they've put in a new protectory, but they've not put in any tier 1 reserve aircraft for anyone else. Or like tier 2, or tier 3, or tier 5 even. And because of that, you're going to get the situation where it's going to be fully mixed. There we go, fully mixed. Ching! I mean, the main reason for this, they did it with Japanese tanks, they did it with American tanks, they did it with British tanks as well. is because they don't release anything to coincide with this. So there's no reserve aircraft for any of the other nations, rather. There you go, fully mixed again. There we go. Ka-ching! And this is all to do with the fact that they don't think about the development, really. Or at least plan it properly. So yeah, it's the same old problem as before. They do this like every time they do a big patch, like one of these, in that they don't give any of the other nations reserve vehicles to use in order to counteract the spam of this particular nation. So you get fully mixed battles. And in reserve, you get them in every fucking game apparently, because that's what people want. Because Gaijin can't do fucking development. So yeah, basically if you've got the mentality of a 12-year-old, you'll look like it. Because it's arcade, basically. But if you've got any kind of brains whatsoever, really, you'll probably understand that fully mixed is arcade. And when you're trying to play realistic, that isn't what you want. You don't want that shit. This is a premium vehicle that should come with all of its equipment unlocked automatically. It's just another rush patch, basically. They'll be fixing this thing for months again.